So now we're going to work single crochet, and we're only going to be working on the back loops. Up until we finish our work, we're going to be working back loops only. So let's say that you have, if we were going to put our hook regular in the stitch, it would be right over here, and we have the front loop, which is this one over here, and the back loop, which is this one over here with my thumb. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting our hook in the center of the both loops and just pull up the back loop only. So starting from the first stitch, grab the back loop only and work a single crochet. Next stitch, back loop only, so this is the center of both of the stitches. So grab the back loop and work a single crochet. This is the center of both loops, not both stitches, like I said before, it's both loops. So back loop and front loop is right over here. So grab the back loop and work a single crochet. Next stitch, back loop and work a single crochet. So by doing this in the row after the base, what we're doing is we're separating the base from the rest of our bag. So let's say you're working your bag with cotton yarn, and let's say this was black. If the rest was white, you would be able to see the black base of the bag. If you were going to crochet regular the stitches, you would be able to see the bottom of the bag only if you turn the bag sideways, or like upside down. So that's why we grab the back loop even after the base, after the first row after the base. So back loop and single crochet, back loop and single crochet. So we're not going to be working any increases anymore. We're only working one double crochet in every stitch. The base was 5 rows only. Next stitch, single crochet. Next stitch, back loop and single crochet. Next stitch, back loop and single crochet. Next stitch, back loop and single crochet. So see here how we have like an outline over here of this is the front loop that we're not crocheting. So keep working one single crochet in every stitch, even in the corners. We're not making any increases anymore. And when I finish the row, I'm going to turn the video back on again and see how we're going to continue the next row. Okay, so I've worked one single crochet in every stitch, and see how our work has started to build up. And we used back loop only. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a stitch marker on my last single crochet over here, which is my 142nd stitch. So I have 142 single crochet, 50 plus 50 on the one side and the other, so that's 100. 15 and 15, that's 130, and 3 on the increase for 4 sides, that's 12 more stitches, so we have 142 stitches. So what we're going to do now is we're not going to turn our work. We're going to go on the first single crochet of this row, and I'm going to grab the back loop, and I'm going to work my first single crochet for the second row. And I know that every time that I reach my stitch marker, that this is the last single crochet of the row. So one, next stitch, and we're grabbing the back loop only again. So up until we finish our work, we're going to be working back loop only. So these are the 2 loops, and I'm going to grab the back loop out of the 2. So if I was going to put my hook in regularly, these are the 2 loops. This is the front and this is the back. So I'm grabbing back loop only. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So keep working, one single crochet in every stitch and back loops only up until we finish this row again. So I've worked one single crochet in every stitch, back loops only, and I've come to the point where this is my last single crochet. So I'm going to take out my stitch marker and work one single crochet, grabbing the back loop only, and I'm going to put the stitch marker on here again so I know that this is always my last single crochet. So from now on we're going to be working the same way that we worked the previous 2 rows, one single crochet in every stitch, back loops only, and you work every row like this up until you reach the bag in the height that you prefer. So if you want it like this big, or depending on how tall you want your bag to be, keep crocheting one stitch in every stitch, grabbing the back loop only. And this is how our bag is going to look like. It gives it a nice design, even though it's very simple. So let's keep making one stitch in every stitch, and when I bring the bag in the height that I prefer, I'm going to turn my video back on again. Okay, so at this point I have completed my bag, and I have made a total of 63 rows. I have a total of 63 rows, and let's see the measurements of the bag. So it's about 37 centimeters wide and about 30 centimeters long. So if you want to make your bag longer, you can make more rows. If you want to make your bag wider, you want to make more chains in the beginning for the base. So what I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video is that this bag that I have completed over here is made with a 3mm crochet hook instead of a 4mm that I started the video with. And so this is how it would look with a 3mm crochet hook, but I really like the outcome with the 4mm crochet hook also. So depending on your yarn, you can use either a 3 or a 4mm crochet hook, or if your yarn is even thicker, you can use a thicker crochet hook, a bigger size crochet hook to make your bag. But depending on how big your crochet hook is, if you want it wider than this one, if you're crocheting with a bigger number crochet hook, you do not want to make more chains, because with the same amount of stitches that we have right now, if we had a 5mm crochet hook, for instance, the bag would be wider and longer. So I have made my last single crochet over here. I took out the stitch marker, I did my last single crochet, I did a chain 1, and what we're going to do now is I'm going to pull the loop and I'm going to tighten up. And what we're going to do now is we're going to crochet the straps. We're going to have 2 straps, one on the one side and one on the other side. So the lighting is not helping really to see the outcome of the bag, so how this stitch looks like. I hope it looks better in the picture. So let's see how we're going to start the straps for our bag. Okay, so I've completed the one strap for the one side already, and this is how it's going to look like. And we're going to sew it on the outside of the bag, and this is a very tight strap. It does not stretch out and it can hold a lot of weight. So we're going to do the other side together. And I have already started with my chains. I have made 130 chains, and out of those 130 chains, if we were going to crochet only single crochet, we would have a total of 129 single crochet in the first row. So out of those 129 stitches, we're going to use one stitch in the beginning for increase and one stitch in the end for increase as well. So we're going to have in the center a total of 127 stitches. So we're going to start and I'm going to skip the first chain and I'm going to go to the second and I'm going to work one single crochet. So this one single crochet is the first single crochet that I'm going to use when I go around. This is the stitch that's going to be used for the increase. So this is not one of my 127 stitches. The next stitch is the one, it's the first out of the 127. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and keep crocheting up until you have 127 stitches, and we're going to leave the last chain to make our increase, or you can make your own strap as long you can make it as long as you want. I have my 127 single crochet from one end to the other, and now this is the last chain stitch. So I'm going to do my increase. I'm going to work 5 single crochet in the same chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch for the middle stitches for 127 stitches again, and we're working on the opposite side of the chain stitch of our chain stitches. So go to the next stitch and put your hook and work your first double crochet. 1, next stitch, 2, next one, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and keep working 1 single crochet in every stitch for 127 stitches. Okay, finished my 127 single crochet, and now we're at the last stitch where we made the first single crochet in the beginning of this first row. So remember how we said that this one single crochet does not count as one of the 127 because we're going to make the increase. So we already have the 1 single crochet for the increase. So instead of making 5 single crochet in the last stitch, we're going to work 4 single crochet in the same stitch, plus the first single crochet for the row counts as the 5th stitch for our increase. So in the last stitch, work 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Put your hook in the first single crochet for this row and work a slip stitch, chain 1, and now in the same exact stitch as we worked the slip stitch just now, we are going to work our first 2 single crochet in the same stitch. These 2 single crochet will count as the last 2 out of the 10 single crochet increases that we're going to work in the end of this row, because we're going to be working 2 single crochet for each of those 5 single crochet for our increase. So since we started with the first stitch in the previous row was part of the increase, now we have to work the first 2 single crochet as we begin the row. So put your hook in the same stitch as the slip stitch and work 2 single crochet. And now we're going to work 1 single crochet for every stitch for the middle 127 as we did in the previous row, and then we're going to work our increase on those 5 single crochet that we did in the previous row, and we are going to work 2 single crochet in each of those 5 stitches. So let's start working our 1 single crochet in every stitch. So next stitch, 1, next stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and keep crocheting up until you have 127 single crochet. I have my 127 single crochet, and now we're gonna work our increases. So we're working our increases on the 5 single crochet that we did in the previous row. So let's go to the first stitch and work 2 single crochet in the same stitch. 1, 2, next one, 3 and 4, next one, 5 and 6, next one, 7, 8, and the last one, 9 and 10. So we completed our first increase. Now we are going to work again 1 single crochet in every stitch for a total of 127 stitches. So I have my 127 single crochet, and now we're going to work 2 single crochet in each of the last 4 stitches. Because we did the first increase in the beginning, we did 2 single crochet in our first stitch, so that's why now we only have 4 stitches to work increases in. So first stitch, 1, 2, next one, 3 and 4, next one, 5 and 6, and the last one, 7 and 8, and work a slip stitch in your first single crochet for this row. Chain 1, and we're going to cut our yarn now. Pull the loop and tighten up. So our strap is ready up to this point. So what we're going to do now is we are going to mark the stitches from where we are going to start sewing. Well, the stitches that we're going to mark, we're going to start sewing from the stitches after them. Hopefully I'm not confusing you. So I'm going to take my crochet hook, and at about here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 stitches. So I'm going to put my first stitch marker in here, and my second stitch marker in here. And we want the same amount of stitches on the other side as well. So fold it in half and put your hook somewhere about here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15 stitches again. So I'm going to put stitch markers on those stitches as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut yarn in order to sew twice as long as our handle. And I always cut a little more just in case to be safe. Okay, so let's start. What you can do in order for the strap to be more round when you sew it together, you can add a piece of rope starting from here up to here, and once you close it up, it'll help it to be more round. So let's start, and I am going to fold this in half, and we want the right side of our single crochet to be on the outside and the wrong side to be on the inside of our work. So see, here we have our stitch markers. So I'm going to start from the single crochet after the stitch marker from the one side, and the single crochet after the stitch marker on the other side as well. So I'm just going to take out the stitch markers from over here so my yarn doesn't tangle on here, and I'm going to do the same process one more time in order for the yarn to be steady as I go through my work. Okay, so now our yarn is coming out from the left side. So what we're going to do in the next stitch, I'm going to put my needle from the left side and go through to the same stitch on the other side as well. So I want to be grabbing the same stitch in both sides. So see, our yarn is coming out from the right side now, so go to the next single crochet from the right side to the same stitch on the left side. So our yarn is coming out from the left side now, so go to the next single crochet, putting your needle from the left to the right, so now the yarn is coming out from the right side. So go to the next single crochet, put your needle in there, and go to the next, to the opposite side. So you want to be grabbing the same stitches in both sides, and from which side the yarn is coming out from, that's the side that we're going to be working our needle to begin with. So the yarn is coming out from the right side, so we're working our yarn from the right side to our needle from the right side to the left. Now to the next stitch, the yarn is coming out from the left side, so we're going to put our needle in the next single crochet from the left side to the right side. And that's how we're going to keep working up until we reach this point where we work the last two single crochet, which are the stitches before the stitch markers. So keep stitching the handle, and when I finish two, I'm going to turn my video back on again and see how we're going to attach it on our bags. Okay, so I've reached my last stitch. So I'm going from the right to the left side. So I'm going to do that process once more, from the right again to the left, and make a knot to make it more steady. And I'm going to leave this yarn in order to be able to sew it on the bag. So I'm not going to have to secure the yarn and then cut another yarn again to sew it on the bag. So this is how our handle looks like. and because the yarn is linen, it twists. So I'm trying to pull it a little bit, straighten it out, and see how steady it is. It does not stretch or anything, so it's a very nice way to make a handle for your bags. Okay, so now I'm putting my stitch markers over here in order to know where to start sewing my handle. And because I already did the one side, I started sewing the handle in the 17th row counting from the top, and in the 12th stitch counting from the right, and the same thing on this side as well. So in order to in order to make sure that your bag is correct in the right, that it's centered, you want to fold the base and make sure it's folded right, folded upwards. So I am in the 17th row and counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 stitches from the left. So we're going to sew the one side together, and then we're going to do the other side, the other part of camera, because it's going to be done in the same exact way. Okay, so let me take it a little closer so it's easier to see. So what I'm going to be doing is I put a napkin inside, so just to make sure that I'm not going to stitch the opposite side of my bag together. So I'm putting my handle with this. See how here it's the opening? We finished stitching over here, sewing over here, and this right here is the opening. So this is the wrong side of the single crochet. We want that to be facing down, and the top part we want it to be right over where our stitch marker is at. So let's start sewing. So put your needle on the first single crochet right here that we see, and we want to grab part of our bag and take out your needle out in the next stitch. It's going to be a little bit hard, but we want to be making sure we're grabbing part of our bag. So put it in the one stitch and take it out in the next one. Now, next stitch, put your needle in the next stitch, grab part of the bag and take it out in the next stitch. Put your needle in the next stitch, grab part of the bag and take it out in the next stitch. So put your needle in the next stitch, grab part of the bag and take out your needle in the next stitch. Put your needle in the next stitch, grab part of the bag and take out the needle in the next stitch. Put your needle in the next stitch, grab part of the bag and take it out in the next stitch. Put your needle in the next stitch, grab part of the bag and take it out in the next stitch. So now put your needle in your last stitch, the one that's visible over here, and take out your needle in the back. Make sure you don't tighten it up too much because it's going to pull together the whole handle from over here. Make a knot. Make another one as well. And now secure the yarn on the back loops of the single crochet. Okay, so cut the yarn. And now we're going to sew. Make sure if you're using similar kind of yarn, because it twists, make sure your handle is straight. So now we're going to attach the next handle the same exact way, but I'm going to do it off camera. So do it the same exact way that we attached the previous handle that we did together. Our bag so far is completed. We have made both of the straps, both of the bag handles. Okay, so what we need to do now is to add the lining on the inside. I do not know how to line bags, so my mother-in-law does that for me. What we're gonna do is we are going to make it more summer-like bag. What we're gonna do is we're going to add a seahorse, a little fish, and maybe some seaweed. So I've already made my fish because we already have a video for how to make fish appliques. So what we're going to do together is we're going to make the seaweed and the seahorse we're going to do on camera because I do not have a video for a seahorse in English. So we're going to do the seahorse together and maybe a seaweed or a coral